I'm going to move down here because you guys can't see me. So we're going to open our Bibles to the book of Matthew. If you guys have your Bibles. We're going to be reading in the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 28. And we're going to be reading verses 16 through 20. Matthew chapter 28, verses 16 through 20. I'm going to read it and you guys can follow me. And it says, Then the 11 disciples went to Galilee to the mountain where Jesus had told them to go. When they saw him, they worshiped him, but some doubted. Then Jesus came to them and said, All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of age. Let's go ahead and bow our heads so we can pray for this service. And I'm going to ask Pastor Dimas if he can pray for this message. Amen. All right, guys, you may be seated. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about something that I just learned a little while ago. It's something that I didn't know, and it's changing a lot. And I was talking to Javier outside right now, and he didn't know what I was going to say, but it goes to what I'm going to say. And we were talking about this generation is way different than generation I grew up in, and I'm not that old. And it's way different. It's way different than, let me see, I'm 20-something now. So I was about 10 years ago. About 10 years ago, I was most of you guys' age. So it was way different when I grew up in church than what you guys are going through in church. And it's different. It's a completely different generation. We're talking about, most of you guys don't want to sit to service, more than, 40 minutes, 30 minutes. Preaching not that long because let's face it, most of the time I cannot keep your guys' attention for too long. So I was talking to this friend, and we're talking about marketing. Marketing is being done way different now than what it used to be. Marketing now is not through commercials because let's face it, who in here still watches TV with commercials? Yeah, we don't. I don't. I mean, I watch Netflix or I record on the DVR, and let's face it, I just fast forward through the commercials. I don't watch commercials no more. Commercials is just kind of like a waste of time. I don't watch commercials no more. So they started to doing different things of how they can put products out there, how they're going to market their products when they know we don't watch commercials no more. We have YouTube, we have Facebook or blogs or Instagram or Netflix, Hulu, whatever you want to call it. We don't watch commercials no more. So they're starting to do something different on how they want to put their product out there, how they're going to market. And this is something, it's called influencer marketing. And this is something that you guys have seen it, and I don't know if you guys know that's what it was called. It's called influencers. Influencers are people that, let's face it, that you guys know. A famous basketball player, a famous singer, or how many of you guys know what a YouTuber is? Okay, that's good. I was like not sure if you guys are going to know what that is. YouTuber is basically someone who, I've seen a couple, and to me it's like a bunch of nonsense. They just get on YouTube and start talking about nothing. And people follow them. I mean, and I've seen some, and I've been talking to this friend, and we're talking, and they follow this girl. She lives with her roommates, and she basically puts what she does throughout the day with her roommates. They play around all day. They play pranks on each other. What they buy to eat, how they buy them, all these things. And I'm like, why am I going to waste my time looking at someone else's life when I cannot live my life? I don't know. To me, it's kind of like, okay. But it's what they do. I mean, I guess it's the way it is now. I don't know. But YouTubers, that's what they do. They basically put something out there. Now, I'm not going to lie. I follow a few YouTubers, but they're piano tutorials. Like, sometimes I want to learn a new Christian song. So I'm like, well, I don't know how to play it. And there's this one guy that I like, and I cannot remember his name. He posts this video on Facebook. I'm sorry, not Facebook, YouTube, on how to play songs in the piano. And I follow him because sometimes he plays songs like, I don't know, what's this one called? I Can Only Imagine. That one I didn't know how to play it in the piano. So I was like, I could get the music sheet and try to figure it out, but it's going to take me a while. So I said, I'm just going to put it on YouTube. So he posted that on Facebook, and not Facebook, on YouTube. So that's how I learned this song. And yeah, I follow him because he posts his piano songs. But there's all kinds of YouTubers. That's another type of influencer. Influencer is something, and I'm going to read your definition because I don't want to be mistaken. It says, right here, okay. Influencer, it's marketing. It says, marketing is a person or group that has the ability to influence the behavior or opinions of others. The influencer is the individual whose effect on the purchase decision is in some way significant or authoritative. Influencer marketing is a form of marketing in which focus is placed on specific key individuals rather than the target market as a whole value. So basically, instead of me putting a poster outside that says, buy this brand of shoes, instead of me doing that, I'm going to get a famous basketball player to wear my shoes so people want to buy my shoes. That's basically what they do. They said, you know what, instead of me going through each one of you and tell you, you know what, my pen is good. This pen, it's got letters and it writes and it's black, very professional. I use it for pretty much everything. I use it for work, for Sunday school, for everything, and it's lasted me for a long time. So I can go to each one of you and tell you how good this pen is. Or I can just put it here and maybe put it outside, and you guys can see my pen and just stand out here and talk about something, and you guys can see the pen. And that's basically how influencer marketing works. They just put it out there so you guys can see it. Because, like I said, let's face it, we don't watch commercials no more. Facebook, and I never noticed that. How many of you guys have seen commercials in Facebook? There is commercials. I didn't know that. Because first of all, I rarely go on Facebook. And when I go, because of the things that I see, is the types of commercial they put you. For example, me, I like to look at guitars. So I find this guitar that it puts there. This new guitar comes out, and you can play acoustic and electroacoustic at the same time on the same guitar. I'm like, that sounds cool. So I click the video so I can go see the example of how the guy is playing the guitar. And then tomorrow I go on Facebook, and it shows me 2 different videos of other 2 guitars that are doing. And to me, I was like, I didn't know that was a commercial. And it is a commercial. They're putting the guitars out there according to what you guys are looking at. So I was talking to this friend, and they like computers, Apple computers. So they were looking at that, and then they tell me, okay, let me show you a screenshot of what I see on Facebook. And besides all the other comments or posting of your friends, it goes a commercial of a new computer that's coming out that is, I don't know, faster or whatever you want to call it. That's how they put commercials out there. Instead of basically, like I said, go one by one or putting a commercial on the radio or a commercial on TV, they do that. They get people to do it. And I try to find some people that are doing that, but I don't know. How many of you guys, Ricardo, quítale monitores. No sé si tiene. I don't know. I'm just going to move. Let me see. What's the basketball team that won this championship? I don't follow basketball, so okay, Golden State. What's the key player of Golden State? Okay, what kind of shoes does he like? Oh, he owns. Okay, that's even better. He owns his own shoes. So, yeah. So and then you guys are like, well, I want these shoes. And don't guys tell me you don't do that, because I've heard you guys say, I want these shoes. When, let's face it, I mean, you step on them, they're shoes, but okay. Um, and there's all these, there are other kinds of things that they do. For example, I was looking at a picture of a football team, and they have a sticker on the side of the helmet that says Under Armour. That's, you know, you go and you watch the football game, and you see the Under Armour, and you're like, when you go to an academy or to buy a new shirt or whatever sportswear you use, you're like, well, I'm going to get Under Armour. Why? Because you've seen it. You don't realize it, but you've seen it somewhere. Now, I was watching this other movie, and it's this guy that he's a real estater. He sells real estate. So he says, you know what, I'm going to try to market myself. And there's these two guys. The first guy, he has open houses. You guys know what an open house is? No? Okay. Well, when you try to buy a house, they have what is called an open house, and you go check out the house, all the price of the house, interest, or whatever you need to know, and that's why you go. Well, this other guy, he was just having that. When the other guy, he said, you know what, I put my picture on billboards or commercials or on the seat when you're waiting for the bus or the via or whatever you want to call it. He has his picture basically posted everywhere. So he said, when I go and I try to sell a house, people look at me and they're like, I recognize you from somewhere. Somehow, you inspire me kind of like some kind of trust because I've seen you before somewhere. I don't know where, but I've seen you before. So I kind of trust you now. So basically he was selling more houses because people trusted him. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because the verse that I just read, go and make disciples. What I'm trying to say is, instead of me try to talk to every person I see, what I'm going to do is I talk to you guys. And then you guys are going to be my influencers outside. You guys, instead of me trying to talk to everyone I know, I try to talk to a few people. And then they go and they make a difference. This is what Jesus did. Instead of Jesus talking to every person in the world, he said, you know what, I'm going to give 12 people. These 12 people are going to be my influencers. These 12 people, I'm going to talk to them, I'm going to tell them, teach them, and then these 12 people are going to go everywhere. They're going to go everywhere. He says to the corners of the earth, to the ends of the earth. They're going to go everywhere and they're going to talk about me. So this is what we need to do. Now, I went to the Facebook. How many of you guys know that we have a Facebook for Toll NYI? No? You didn't know? There's a Facebook page for Toll NYI. So I went out there, and it says in here, it says, information, description. It says, Texas, Oklahoma Lighting District. Serving, loving, and making Christ-like disciples in Texas, Oklahoma Lighting District in the Church of the Nazarene. So that is our mission. How many of you guys remember the be, do, go? Those three parts. Be, do, go. It's be, evangelism, do, discipleship, and go, leadership development. Come on, guys. You guys need to know more or less that. Be, do, go. Be, evangelism, do, discipleship, and go, do, leadership development. So this is what we are called to do. This is what our mission as an NYI is. As a Told NYI is go and make Christ-like disciples in all of Texas, Oklahoma. Basically all of that. So this is what we do. We try to do. Now, an influencer is someone that tries to tell you what you need to or what you want without telling you what you want. For example, these shoes of this basketball guy, he doesn't tell you that you need to buy these shoes. Or any brand of sports outwear, they don't tell you this is the one you need to buy. If you guys seen commercials, they don't tell you that no more. I remember all commercials, for example, penicilina, que like very, very old commercial, they say penicilina, qué buena medicina. That's a very, very old commercial. I mean, old commercial. And most of you haven't heard it. And they don't tell you that no more. They don't tell you that no more. Instead of telling you that, they show you a guy that's sick, drinks the medicine, and all of a sudden he's healthy now. They don't tell you, drink this, it's going to make you well. No, they're showing you. So this is what we need to do. For us to make disciples, Before we can teach something, we need to learn something. I cannot teach something that I don't know. And I don't know sports. I'm not a sports guy. But for example, guitar. Like when I teach these guys, okay, this is what you're going to play, I need to learn the song first before I teach them how to play it. So for you guys to go and make disciples, you need to become a disciple. I like a lot of examples. For example, Paul and Timothy, Moses and Joshua, Josue. There's a lot of leaders and disciple relationships in the Bible. But the one that we need to focus on the most is Jesus and his 12 disciples. Jesus spent a lot of time with his 12 disciples. He was basically with them all day. And he taught them, and he showed them in a way that it wasn't boring to them. It was a way of life. Jesus told them, this is how you do this is how you do that. But he did not just only say it. He also did it. So for us to teach something, as another mentor of mine used to tell me, he's like, you need to talk the talk and walk the walk. If you're going to talk to me about something, you need to be able to do it yourself. You cannot tell me, Ray, this is how you kick the ball, or this is how you throw a basketball, and then I see you throw the basketball a different way. I'm like, well, I thought you told me this is how you're supposed to throw it. Yeah. So in order for us to do discipleship, we need to be disciples. And our discipler is Jesus Christ. We need to be disciples of Jesus. Our mission is to make Christ-like disciples. That is our mission. But for us to make Christ-like disciples, I need to be a Christ-like disciple. I need to be able to follow Christ in every aspect of my life. You guys need to be an influencer without trying to be an influencer. These guys, they're hired to do it, and they do it, and it looks like they're not trying to do it because that's how they make it look. But they're trying to tell you, without telling you, this is what you need to buy. This is the best brand. This is the best shoes or shirt or shampoo or lotion or whatever you want to buy, without telling you that this is what you need to buy. Same thing we need to do now is we're going to preach Jesus. We're going to preach with our lives. Let me tell you, the best way to win someone for Christ is with your actions, with what we do. Because if you go and you talk to someone about Jesus, but then after school you get in a fight because someone looked at you the wrong way, well, I thought you were supposed to put the other cheek. We need to talk the talk and walk the walk. This is something that we all need to do. We need to learn to become disciples and then make disciples. Our mission is to not just stop right here where I'm at. I need to, for example, I'm going to teach Luis, Richard, Carlos, and Edwin. That's 4. And then them 4 go and talk to other 4. So it's not just us 4, me and them 4, that's 5, but it's their 4. 4 por 4 is 16 más, that's going to be 21 now. And then those 21 are going to become more. I forgot. It's an exponential graph, and I'm not too good at exponentials. But it basically grows and grows and grows and grows. The thing is, it doesn't have to stop with us. You guys come to church. You guys learn about Jesus. You guys learn about God. You guys learn what the Bible says. But it's not fair for you to keep it, because it's not for us to keep. We need to go and tell it to someone else. It needs to continue. It needs to continue, because eventually it's going to die. If, for example, your last name, in my dad's side, my dad is the only guy among 7 girls. So my last name, Ortiz, there was only one possibility to continue. 7 girls and only my dad. But then my dad had 3 boys. And then, well, none of us have kids, but but we're planning. But what? Hey, I want to have kids someday. Not today, but later. But it has to keep going. So my last name is going to go to my boy, and Isaac's boy, and Jonathan's boy, and so on and so on. If I was to say, you know what, I'm not going to have no kids at all. My last name is going to stop right there. And eventually my last name is going to die. My family's name is going to die. There's not going to be more Ortiz family. It's going to die with me. Same thing with us. Our, ¿cómo se dice? Denomination, our way of our teachings, we need to keep on passing them on. Because if you hold it, it's going to die. It's going to die. And it's up to you guys. Because let's face it, I'm not going to be here forever. Or pastor's not going to be here. Or the pastors are not going to be here. I mean, we're humans. We are meant to live, die, and live, be born, reproduce, and die. So that's a cycle. We eventually, we're all going to die. But if it lands on you, it is now your task to start making disciples, to start teaching to someone else what you guys know. Now, I know you guys go to Sunday school. I know you guys go to your Bible studies or your small groups, and that's something else I was talking to Javier. And there's different approaches to how we study the Bible. We can do it in Sunday school, and being honest, my class, I have middle school and high school. A lot of times, these guys don't get up early to come to Sunday school. I mean, they don't. I mean, it's Sunday. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't get up early either. I'm not a morning person. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't get up, but I'm here in the morning. But that is not the only way you guys learn about God. You go to your youth services, or you go and you talk to your youth pastor or your youth leaders. You are constantly learning about God. You are constantly learning about the Bible. But the thing is, you guys need to keep on passing it on. You guys need to keep the movement going. Keep it going. Don't stop it. Don't be like, okay, I'm going to learn this, I'm going to learn that. And eventually, you know so much that you don't pass it on. It has to keep on going. We need to start making Christ-like disciples. That is our mission, to make Christ-like disciples. Not disciples of Ray or disciples of anyone else. No, we need to make Christ-like disciples because he is our discipler. Is that how you say discipler? Nuestro discipulador en español. He is our role model. He is the person that we need to follow his example. So I tell you guys, you need to start getting disciples of your own. I know you guys study the Bible. I mean, we have Bible quizzing. We have all these other things that you guys learn about. It doesn't have to stop there. It shouldn't stop there. It mustn't stop there. You guys need to keep on teaching. Teach it to someone else. Keep the ball going. Keep the information moving so someone else can learn about Jesus. Because if not, no one else is going to learn. There's this thought that it says, this person is thinking, you know what, God, why? Oh, there's a song. It's a song, I think it's from Matthew West or something like that. It says, I ask God, why? Why, God? Why do you allow this? Why don't you send someone to help him? And then God says, you know what? I made you. You are who I'm trying to send. But if you don't answer, no one is going to go. So you guys need to go out there. Go and make disciples. Go talk to someone else, to your friends. It doesn't have to be a stranger. It can be one of your friends. We all know someone that needs God. We all need someone. We all know someone that needs about Jesus. It can be a family member or someone else. So we're going to pray today, and we're going to pray for God to help you guys have the words at that moment when you're going to talk to someone. It is a difficult thing to talk to someone about anything. I talk to these guys right here, and it's not easy talking to them. When they come and they tell me, Ray, this and this and this and that, at that moment I'm like, inside of me, I don't tell them that, but I'm like, oh, what am I going to say? How do I respond to this? And let me tell you, it's a lot of prayer. You have to pray. God, at that moment, when the moment comes, when I need to talk to someone, give me the right words to tell them. What do you want me to say? So this is what I want you guys to pray right now. Pray to God that when he sends you someone that you can talk to, that he can give you the right words for you to say. That when someone else is trying to be a disciple, that you're going to be a discipler now, that you guys have the right tools or have the right words to talk to someone else. And we're going to pray right now. If you guys want to stand up or come to the altar, it's up to you guys.